Hey guys, where should we go now? What do you think?
It's not every day you get the chance to flamingo.
Wait up for me. Wait up.
Ardastra Gardens in Nassau is a wildlife conservation center originally founded as a botanical garden in 1937. Tropical plants still bloom here, but flamingos get all the attention.
It is the national bird of the Bahamas, so it is basically the face of wildlife and birds here in the Bahamas.
Animal manager Hendrew Haley says a decades-long effort by the government and nonprofit agencies is helping to protect flamingos.
Back in the day, the numbers declined all the way to 5,000, but now the Bahamas is home to one of the largest breeding populations in the world, which exceeds over 70 to 80,000 birds.
Other island creatures also live at Ardastra, including a rare white peacock.
Over 70% of the animals that call Ardastra home are all rescue, rehabbed, rehomed animals, surrendered animals, people's pets.
Many of these birds roam freely, unfazed by humans. Flamingos even star in their own show.
When people are able to experience and see things up close and personal, then they're maybe more willing to take an active role in protecting it.
Just try to avoid eye contact. Some of those birds are single. Don't start something you can't finish, man.
Turns out these wading birds are pretty in pink for a reason.
They're born gray. They have these nice fluffy little gray downy feathers, and then as they start to get older, they would start to slowly change the color based on this beta-carotene supplement that's found in some of the things that they eat.
And flamingos are monogamous as well as devoted parents.
The parents actually take turns incubating the eggs and taking care of the young when they're born. So pretty cool. I think us humans maybe need to learn from them sometimes.
Caring for native flora and fauna must remain a priority as Nassau continues to develop, say local environmental experts.
On this island, particularly the capital of the Bahamas, has been a lot of development. So over the last 50 years, we've lost over 30% of mangroves on this island.
However, 1,200 acres of mangrove trees and shrubs thrive here at Bonefish Pond National Park on New Providence Island. This is one of 32 parks in the Bahamas managed by the nonprofit Bahamas National Trust. Elijah Sands is the organization's communications director, as well as a birder and photographer.
Mangroves are essentially super nurseries for all of the economically and culturally and biologically important species that we either love to eat or we love to see.
Mangroves are crucial in tropical climates, says Sands.
So they're actually the only tree in the world that can grow fully in salt water. The big prop roots, or walking roots as people call them, they help to stabilize the plant in salt water and in unstable environments and help the mangrove to exchange carbon dioxide and oxygen.
And mangroves help protect coastlines during hurricanes.
Bahamas, we're essentially in the middle of the hurricane belt. Mangroves help to break up storm surge and reduce flooding when these hurricanes arrive.
Hard to believe that this pristine park was once a dumping ground.
There were mounds of trash, like mountains of trash. When we started our initial cleanup efforts around 2008, over time we've removed hundreds of tons of garbage.
Volunteers and community partners pitched in to dredge creeks, restore channels, and plant new mangroves. As a result, wildlife is flourishing, including threatened and endangered species.
We have birds like the piping plover, which is a threatened shorebird in the Americas that nests exclusively in the Massachusetts area. They almost exclusively winter in the Bahamas. We also have other important species like the reddish egret, which is one of the most rarest wading birds in North America.
Today, locals and tourists alike come to Bonefish Pond to decompress and enjoy the park.
Humans need to be connected to their natural environment. And so when you restore nature, you're essentially restoring people.
An interesting fact about Nassau, it hasn't been hit head-on by a hurricane because of its location. It's actually protected by the other Bahamian islands.
Yeah, in 2019, Hurricane Dorian, a Category 5, was actually the most destructive storm to ever hit the Bahamas. Grand Bahama and the Abaco Islands were the hardest hit.
Yeah, they took a beating.